It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B. Ron. Alongside me is my co-host Yells. Good morning, man. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, man. I was gonna come on screen. I told you about it. I was gonna come on with just a straight maniac face and call it
Yeah,
Maniacal Monday. Something like,
maniacal Monday.
yes, it's Maniacal Monday.
Let's go. I love
Yeah,
it. I love it, man. Well, look, we had a big, busy weekend
yeah,
here
we
in
did.
SimWorld Small Prep. Let's jump right into some things, shall we? First game we're going to go over is a Friday game. Southeast Selective versus the Yacht Club. And this one, a thriller, man. Absolute thriller of a game.
Mm,
Started off really nice here. See the inside take there, easy. 2 points to get the game started for Southeast Select. And then down here on the other end,
Gabe Pope.
Gabe Pope with the elite hands. He's been doing that. He did that a lot in this game. He finished the game with 5 steals. He
Woo!
tied the record for most steals in a small prep game. And
Charge
the
that
beautiful
man.
find in the corner.
Charge that man for a crime, for theft.
Yeah, it was insane. He was picking pockets all night long. And here's Gabe Pope once again, getting another rip and going the other way. And the pass into the block, defense into defense. They said, "I see your defense, and we'll raise you a defense in return."
Oh,
And
woo!
taking it inside, a mean one-handed, powerful flush there.
Gabe
The other
Pope
way,
getting
Pope
it
in
done.
the
No, he
corner.
couldn't get it done though. Oh, nice block
It's
there.
done. It's a great block. That was Josiah Cook had plenty of blocks in this one as well. As the game went on, though, it seemed like Celtics like defense really locked in, which we can get into later. But in this first half, first quarter, first half, his Carballo going right by his man. See you later. 2 points.
They finished that quarter up, didn't they? 23-14. Yacht Club
Yep.
well in hand of this game at that point.
Yeah. Yacht Club, they had it. It looked like it was going to be a runaway. It looked like I was going to be right in my prediction. But unfortunately, not the case. But there is a beautiful pass into alley-oop right there. Those never fail to get anybody excited. If you're watching the game, you see those, and you always get up for those.
B-Ron, I'll point something out here. All of those, not only was Gabe Pope just in the passing lanes like an absolute thief, or not even on the passing lanes, those are on-ball steals, but they were on
Yeah.
Deere and Cruz, which I know we're going to come back to a little later. But Deere and Cruz finished that game with, let's see here, I think he had 5 turnovers, probably all against Gabe Pope, as I think, yep,
Yes, they
right
all were
on cue. Right on cue.
What's it? Mama, there goes that man again.
Southeast Selects finishes the half up 5 after being down as many as 9 in the first quarter.
Yep. But it really was a game of neither team really going away from each other. They start to go on a run, and it would get thwarted really easily. There's another block right there.
Koya
That was,
Monroe.
Koya
Koya Monroe's kicks are just dope. I love his shoe game.
Not gonna lie, I almost said Jay Lasser, but he's not there anymore. So he's seeing that hair and thinking Jay Lasser, but he's not there anymore.
Nah.
He's with.
We have plenty of highlights. This was a really good game. Really good game.
It really was.
But we see Southeast Select up here up as many as 8. But when we got into the fourth quarter, was coming up here. It was a game of runs, wasn't it, B-Run? Because
yeah, absolutely.
look at that big time shot there from Emmanuel Rollins, I believe. But yeah, Yacht Club came storming back. It was a deep 70-71's nothing to sneeze at, but it was a defensive game in my opinion, for sure. And you saw Xavier Pope didn't even really get going like we thought. He finished the game with only 7 points. He did have 5 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals. So all around game, you would have liked to see him be more assertive in that game, but who knows if he could, because the defense was locked.
Smothering.
It was lock and key. Shout out to Gulf Coast Slim. Gulf Coast Slim.
Yeah, these teams played really good defense all throughout the game, and as we're getting down here towards the end.
And this kid here showed up big time for him in the fourth quarter.
Man.
My God. Yeah, big time buckets. But would it be enough?
Would it be enough?
Ooh.
No, at least not right there anyway. Hey, look, Trey Willis had a huge game, huge impact on this game, and unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough. Southeast Select, it'll come with the win, 71-70.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to get it done, man. He couldn't pull them back. It was again, back and forth game, a game of runs, but it just shows you how basketball is. A lot of times you'll check into the stream, check into the chats, hop on social media, what have you, and somebody will be saying, hey, so a team's up 12, and you see, it's over, game over, oh, they're on a run. Basketball is a game of runs. It's only 4 possessions, a couple of steals, couple of blocks, couple of bad plays and turnovers, and you're right back in this thing. SES was up, TYC, was up in the first quarter by 9. There was a 17, actually, you can call it more, a 26-point turnaround in the second quarter where SES went up, scored 27 in the quarter, and TYC only 10. And then it was just who wants it more for the rest of the game in the second half. And I'll tell you who, when we look at that scoreboard, B-Ron, Southeast Select won it anymore.
You're going to see what Southeast Select, but there was other things that happened after the game, confrontation in the locker room reported.
Yeah.
An eventual suspension was handed down to Darren Cruz. He'll miss their next game against SimWorld South America. And, you never like to see that happen, especially after a close loss like that. Do you think that it was a matter of the moment and it being a close loss? Or was this something where, let's say they won this game, but then the next game something happened and we just gotten kicked down the road, so to speak. You know what I mean? Something to consider.
I guess Coach wanted to nip it in the bud, whatever it was that occurred. I'm not as plugged in as some others on this team out in Yacht Club, but I would like to be because the food and the ladies are lovely in Florida, so I need to get more plugged in. But yeah, so I don't know all the particulars, but for a coach to take a drastic measure this early in the season, which I do think a suspension is pretty drastic, it must have been warranted, whatever was said. And here's what I will say. We've heard a lot of kids that have been boisterous this season and have had a lot to say. And do your thing. That's what everyone said. What, talk your talk. Great. Well, you can talk your talk, and it may get you suspended on a game where the scout that is going to, advance your career is sitting in the stands, and you're going to be sitting on the bench where he can't see you going. So I don't know what happened. De'Aaron Cruz, whatever he was feeling that game, he finished the game with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 5 turnovers. I don't know what much you have to say if that's the performance that you gave and Gabe Pope turned you over left and right. What part of the game plan of that, in my opinion, falls on the coach if someone was picking your pocket head up.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not too certain is what I have to say about that. But I do think if Coach Laster decided to take drastic steps, it must have been warranted early in the season. And you want to get a hold of things earlier than later, right?
Yeah, exactly. Nip it in the bud early. That way it's not a problem later down the road. But we'll see how all that goes, I guess. Plenty of time for things to turn around for them.
He brought him in this offseason, too. That's an interesting story. So
the players involved in that were both players that were brought in the offseason. To add on to that. So, but let's move on, though. Let's move on. Next one, we got Cooper Flag and the OGs in action.
Raise the flag.
Going up north to play the North.
Akeem Young.
Akeem Young he played pretty well, but not. I don't think it was the way that most people were expecting him to play, though.
This might have been his only action here in the first quarter. I think he finished with like 6 to 8 points, something like that.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about that, obviously, when you have a kid that is talented as him. But look at Big Vic right there.
Big slick
Victoras Ilgaskis with the two-handed jam right there.
Oh, Monty, go to work.
A pretty fadeaway. 2013, see North there in the lead. And, in this game, the North was like, you were rolling, okay.
Hey, they had the lead in the first quarter. They held OGs to just 13 points. So then again, we did not see Cooper Flag assert his dominance yet. But the North leading the way, 18-13 first quarter. Second quarter, they hung on. You see they're right here. They still have the lead 30-23. But then look at that, turn the ball over. Look at that big-time block there by Akeem Young on Cooper Flag. I think that may have woken Cooper Flag up for the second half.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Those are the kind of plays where you see it happen and you go, all right, I don't want that to happen to me again.
Yeah, so, I think Coop said something different. Based on where we're gonna head here, I think Coop said, "You know what? Y'all know if you know what? Y'all ever seen that?"
So he took that personally. To bring it back around here.
Look at the ball
Cooper
handle.
Going to work right there.
Look at the ball handle. He's 6'9". Did you see how quick that crossover was?
That's insane. I wish I could do something like that. I probably wouldn't be here talking to you right now. I'd probably be in the league, but it's fine.
And then one of the other we can talk Cooper Flag all we want, and we will. We're going to have more than enough opportunity to talk Cooper Flag all season, as he dropped 25 again in 26 minutes. It's like that's just his number. But Jay Laster, as we've seen here in a couple of highlights, played very well. Very, very well, my ad. Only 13 points, but 4 boards, 4 assists. Efficient shots. He was shooting, or not so terribly efficient, but from 3, he got it going. Justin McGavin, only 2 points, but his points that he scored, if we catch it here in this clip, were very timely. And Chris Coates showed up and got it done as well.
And eventually the OGs were able to pull away in that one, and they were able to get the win 67-50. The North only scored 4 points in that fourth quarter.
I was just looking at that. And 9 in the third. I mean, they were shut down in the second half. And that's where we say, everyone talks Cooper Flag, like I said, defense, or talks about his offense, but the OG's defense, if you thought it was tough last year, they look stifling so far this season.
Yeah.
You got to come with your lunch pail, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Come ready to work, because they're going to make it hard on you all game long. Getting to our final recap, though, here. Another thriller on Saturday at SimWorld TV. We had so many great games on SimWorld this past week. And this was another one that did not disappoint. Rocky Mountain taking on Showtime at Cattle Ranch Event Center there. And that place was rocking, as always, up there in the Mile High Mountains of Lodo, Colorado. You
ever been out there, B-Ron?
I've never been out there, no.
It's hard to breathe, man. It's hard to breathe.
I have asked. I was trying to stay away from there at all costs. So Bryce James, Cole Webb and Company out there, coming to the the Lodo area, and this was another game where it was very, very competitive all throughout. Offenses both really came to play. I had made a joke during the
look at that shot.
Live stream. I said, what is this? Big 12, Big 12 fuck? No defense being played in this game. It's just offense and points.
Ooh, look at that explosion. Bonde Thunda, he showed up in a big way. 13, or excuse me, there was just 2 of his 13 there. He knocked down a couple, or he knocked down a 3, but I think he was a key factor in this game, because I'm not sure anyone was looking for that kind of offensive explosion. His 13 really set a tone there.
And here's the thing about him to remember. He came in as one of the very, very last players to sign in the off-season period, in the recruitment period, last chance recruiting period. He played in that unsigned hype tournament, and I think he's number 33 recruit or something like that in the region to sign. So for him to come in and make an impact right away, this is insane. It's good to see it, if you're asking me.
On the other side, Cole Webb struggled mightily yet again in the first half of this one. In the second half, he did get it going. Look at that big time and 1 over DeQuan McDougal. The third, there's nothing easy about that. But he got it going. But here's the guy. Here's a guy, B-Run. Who is Dink Pate? Where did this kid come from? 28 on his first game of the season, 17 decisive buckets in this one. It was like, hey, I'm just going to get to my spot and do what I want with efficiency. That kid's got skills, man.
Yeah, he sure does. He sure does, man.
Did Coach Robinson see a sleeper here? Did he know something nobody else knew, or what?
I feel like he must have knew something to bring him in and pair him up with Justin Bell, Zane Davis, and all those kids out there. I think that he fits in very well with what they do.
Get Bryce.
And once they get to a point where Justin Bell and Zane Davis move on, I think that Pete is going to be the next kid to step up, and he may be the quote-unquote star over there. Because you think about Rocky Mountain, I think of team basketball, where anybody can go get you 15.
Oh, that's a nice pass. Oh,
beautiful pass. They're unselfish. They play team-oriented basketball, and Dink Pate definitely a big part of that.
Look, hey, Showtime had a chance to win this. Not to get off
Yeah.
subject. Look at that big
No, you're good.
defense to offense there by Cole Webb. One of his few assists for the game, but boy, was it timely. Showtime, look at this. With 2 minutes to go, they were in great position to win this game.
Up here on defense.
Couldn't get it done on the glass, though.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, hey, you can't count on a moment that ends a game, but Dink Pate, he shows up in the clutch moments, and I think they did the things that were needed to win all game. But it came down to this, B-Run. I'll let you get the call.
Speaking of things, speaking of needing to end the games, and Vane Davis over in a corner, give it up, put it away, game over. Vane Davis called game, and Rocky Mountain ended up winning that one, 80-78, and improved to 2-0 on the year. Showtime is now 2-1.
You have to go back and you got to count the mistakes there by Showtime. That's all I'm gonna say. They had a chance, but we won't spend a bunch of time on it. Bryce James, he's got to get more touches. I'm not saying because he's Bron's kid, because we know how I feel about LeBron James. Although I've come to respect him.
Yeah, no,
although I've come to respect him.
I'll say it.
but yeah, Bryce James, 9 shot attempts, 5 of 9, 3 of 3 from deep. You got to get that kid some more looks. Not only is he a great player, but he's also a drawing attraction for this team. One more shot attempt, assuming it's from 3, and Showtime wins this game.
I'll say it. Give Bryce the Bronny treatment. Give it to him. I have anything else to say. I'm gonna leave it there. Let's move on. You know exactly what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
We had a player of the week though, and there was a great discussion about that in our Discord earlier yesterday about that. But Kola Abduraouf won the Player of the Week award for and from SimWorld Africa. Played extremely well. To give a graphic for him coming up here. And, he was a big part in their win against SimWorld Oceania last week. Put up 33 points in that win. With him, the pieces added to the team, Coach Davis coming in, taking over recently. Does all of these things coming together, does that make them a contender in your mind? Because personally, for me, I think it does. I like what I've seen so far from them. They've done a lot of things better than what I was expecting them to be, and to me, they look. And I think Rick Blaze has said it earlier, but they look like they looked in the Ground Zero season, especially defensively, with their length and all of that. That's just my opinion. What's your thoughts on it, though?
I'm scared to say a contender. That's a strong statement to say contender. They look really good, and they do look like how they looked in the Ground Zero season. They absolutely look like monsters defensively. And then if Cole is cooking like that, and we know what they can do down low, and they haven't even had to do it yet with some of those big hosses they have down low, and Pierre Dupont and Afuwu. And now they have. We've talked about it before. They've got shooting. They have all the things, but defensively, they're long, they're rangy, and Kola is just going crazy. Do I think he can sustain that? I don't. I don't think that what we're seeing is his. I think we're seeing his ceiling. Or let me phrase it before everyone goes crazy on it. I think we're seeing the absolute best that we're going to see from him.
At this stage?
At this stage, in a vacuum, right? So he's having a hot streak. I think he's going to continue to be really, really good. But at this level, I think that's insane to think that he'll be able to keep up that level of productivity. But I still think they're a very, very good team. Meet me next week. Let's talk about it next week, B-Ron. Next week, if they have 2 more games in their belt, then I may be willing to say,
Okay.
Yeah. But
all right.
For now, I can't call them a contender yet, but they are absolutely scary, and they're looking like the best team in the Intercontinental region.
All right, fair enough. We can definitely revisit that. Let's look ahead, though, shall we, to our game of the week this week?
Game of the week.
That is going to be
of the week.
The Beast of the East taking on the Philadelphia Elite, and man, that is going to be on Wednesday, December 13th on SimWorld TV at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Philadelphia's home for that one. Yeah, early game. Man, I'm excited for this one. Yeah, I really am. One team, again, coming off championship season, targets going to be on their back the whole way. Philadelphia looking much improved from last season, as I expected them to look. I think they blew out the first 2 teams they played this season. Think we'll see that carry over into this game? I don't think we'll see that happen, but I think it's gonna be a very competitive, grinded out kinda game with both these teams also known for their defense in various capacities.
All I'm waiting for, I know it's going to be a good game. I know it's going to be down the wire. I expect nothing less. I expect some battles. I expect some friendly pushing and shoving. Telling you now, Coach Drayton, Coach Drees, and all the players on y'all squads, Akanda Mazaka, JC and JT King, JoJo Kearney, Levin Cutler, Isaiah James, Big Talk James. I want y'all better get in that presser after the game. Y'all better get in the presser and you better give it up to the winner and you say what needs to be said, or you fight the fight. And coaches, I'm just waiting on OTR after that. I'll be tuning into OTR like I never have been before, and I want to hear y'all talk about how you won, what you did to win, or how you lost, and how it fell apart. I want to hear it. I'm telling you now. That's what I'm tuned in for. The game is the appetizer. The OTR following is the main course for me.
Oh man, that is gonna be exciting. This is gonna be exciting. Well, look, we got a big week ahead of us. Make sure you guys tune in to all the action here on SimWorld TV. Keep it locked and loaded here. We're gonna have a big week of action here for you. And but it's time for us to go. Time for us to go. So remember, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.